I'm Laura, and today I'm making a covered wagon. Covered wagons played a big part in United States history because settlers used them to cross the continent and build new lives in the West. Are you ready? Let's get started. To make a covered wagon, you'll need 3 sheets of paper, scissors, and glue or tape. If you'd like to color any of it, you'll also need something to color with. I am making the covered wagon using a template that is available to purchase for a small fee from my Etsy shop at etsy.com/shop/Fanfaron. If you'd rather not use a template, you could probably draw one out and still make it yourself. I printed my template on 2 sheets of brown cardstock and 1 sheet of regular white printer paper. Did you know that there were 2 types of covered wagons? This is a farm wagon. It's made of wood, so often was brown, but some settlers painted their wagons green, so you could color your wagon green as well. The other type of covered wagon was called a Conestoga wagon. Conestoga wagons were painted blue and the wheels were painted red. But Conestoga wagons were too heavy to cross the plains. They could get bogged down in mud and things like that, and the animals couldn't pull them so far. So settlers usually use farm wagons just like this. When you're coloring your farm wagon, you don't need to color this middle part because it's going to be the bottom of the wagon and you won't actually be able to see it. Make sure you don't totally cover up these little gray dots because those will show you where to attach your wheels. The wagon cover was also called the bonnet. You'll probably want to leave that white as that was the typical color. The wagon wheels you can color if you'd like to or leave them brown. Same with the tongue and the seat. I am cutting out my wagon box by cutting on the black dashed line. I am not cutting on the gray dotted lines because I will be folding on those later. As you can see, I've already finished cutting out my wheels and my seat. If you're making this without the template, you can make the wheels by tracing something round, perhaps the bottom of a glass. A drinking glass would work. And notice that the wheels are different sizes. There's smaller wheels for the front, and then there are larger wheels for the back. Settlers use smaller wheels in the front to make it easier to turn the wagon. Now it's time to fold on all of the gray dotted lines. For the wagon box, everything is going to be folded backwards. Press down on those folds real securely so you have nice crisp folds. For the seat, you're going to be folding backwards on this middle line and then forwards on these other 2 lines. Sometimes it can be hard to see where to fold when you're folding forward, so you can fold backward and then fold forward on that fold line. So I'll do that again here. Excuse the brown marker on my finger. That looks kind of weird, doesn't it? Okay, so this is going to be the wagon seat. The last thing to fold is your white bonnet or wagon cover, and you're going to be folding forward here as well. Just like that. right, here comes the fun part. We get to put it together. So put glue on all 4 tabs of the wagon box, and then fold it up and attach those tabs. Next up comes the wagon cover. Again, we're going to put glue on the tab, and then we're going to put this inside the wagon box. Interesting thing about farm wagons is they were often also called prairie schooners. And the reason that they were called prairie schooners is because from far away, a wagon train of many wagons had all these white covers on them, and they looked like the sails of ships. And ships could be, little ships were called schooners. So they looked like schooners going across the prairie where there was no water. So they called them prairie schooners. And I put this right in here and I'm pressing it down. And then when I pull it back up, it looks like this. Now I'm going to put my seat on there. First I'm going to put glue in here to put my seat together. Just like this. And then oops, it doesn't want to stay. More glue. Then you'll put glue on this front tab here and attach it to the front of your wagon. How do you know what the front is? Well, look for the dot that is lower down and the front is that side. So put my seat in here, hold it in. Again, you can tape this as well if you'd rather. Right. And then adjust your seat. Next up, I'm going to do my wagon tongue. Kind of a funny name. The tongue is what attached to your yoke of oxen who pulled the wagon. So I'm setting it right under the wagon, and then I'm pressing down on this. To attach the wheels, you're just going to put glue on the back of the top half of a wheel. The big wheel, of course, goes in the back. And I'm just going to cover up this little gray dot here with the top of my wheel. And that's how I know I put it in the right spot. Same thing with the little gray dot for the smaller wheel. And I'm putting my hand inside of the wagon to press on both sides to make sure that wheel stays on there. Now that you've finished your covered wagon, you may want to make some paper, people, and animals to go with it. Perhaps you need Laura Ingalls Wilder and her family. You can follow the directions on my paper people video to do that. However, if you're not feeling very artistically inclined, I try to do something special for you. I scanned both of my oxen and both of my pioneers and this yoke right here, and I put them on a free download that you can get on my website, fanfaronbylaura.com. Click on the download section. You can print them out. You may want to color over the top of them because it won't show up super dark. And then you can cut them out and attach stands to the back. Again, how to do that is on my paper people video. This right here is the yoke. It's what goes around the heads of the oxen or the mules that would be pulling the wagon. I folded it right here and I used a hole punch to punch a hole in that and also in the tongue of my wagon. And then I just tied those together using a little piece of string so that the oxen can be pulling the wagon. So that's nothing fancy, but just a little something to help you out. Thanks for watching.